A patron at a Times Square restaurant recently decided to ignore the suggested gratuity portion of his receipt, opting instead to tip not 15 or 20%, but rather 6,800%, leaving his waitress a very generous $3,000 tip on a $43 bill. The tip also came with a note: "Thank you for your kindness and humility. My teacher in middle school had such a difficult experience a few years ago, which has sparked me to do this." That teacher is Richard Speck. Back in October of 2012, Speck and his wife lost their 22-month-old son in a tragic drowning accident. Their community in Sound Beach, Long Island, gave them much-needed support during that time. And ever since, they vowed to give it back, launching the Respect Life Foundation in honor of their son. The mission to keep the kindness going, and it has.
The first thing I saw was a $3,000 tip. And it didn't register at first because, people share acts of kindness with us from all over. And then I looked back at the receipt and I noticed the student's name and I knew exactly who it was. It was a student I had 9 years ago. And it blew my mind.
It all happened at a restaurant here in Times Square. The tipper, not only a former student of the 8th grade science teacher, but also an established performer on Broadway, whose identity remains anonymous for good reason.
They wanted it to be about the kindness, the act of kindness, and what we're trying to promote. So, I'm just humbled by that.
And that act, done by a former student, Speck describes as a standout.
Just a super nice young man, the type of person who would do things for other people, who, was very outgoing. He only had 22 months, and I think everyone wants to make a difference in the world, and we felt like he didn't have his chance, and we wanted to, to kind of give him that chance to pay back the kindness that we'd received after he passed away.